Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiano Mtandazo. If you are joining us for the first time on the channel, welcome. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to join our notification gang. To my TMC gang, hi guys, welcome back to another video, welcome back to another episode. I must say guys, I've missed sitting down and having a conversation with y'all and not vlog, because vlogging is actually a lot of work. It's sheesh, man. I respect people who vlog. I honestly do. I really respect them. Vlogging is a lot of work, guys, but we survived Vlogmas. We've got 3 vlogs on the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, I will not be vlogging anytime soon. I'm going to be going back to our normal sit-down conversations. I will add vlogs going forward, obviously, on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. But for now, we're just having sit-down conversations, and we engaging again and interacting and learning and growing. So remember, the aim of the channel is to educate, empower, and to impact, and that's what we aim to do in every video that we put out for you guys. On today's video, as you can see with the topic, I'm going to discuss with you guys why I quit my job. Sure, it's a mouthful, but I'm hoping I won't take too long to try and explain the whole thing to you guys. But I just feel like, to get a bit of context, going back to the very beginning, the beginning of my career, and explaining how that came about is going to make a whole lot more sense as to why I decided to quit working. I didn't quit to sit at home, please. No, I didn't. I wish I did. I didn't, but I decided to stop doing full-time work and do locum work. So locuming as an optometrist is more like freelancing in other professions. So you basically work in your own terms, you charge your own rates, and you work your own hours. And yeah, you work with brands and people that you prefer to work with, and not just everyone. So it's like freelancing as an optometrist. So first, let's take a walk down memory lane, where it all started. So I remember, like, when I was in high school, I used to love electrical technology and technical drawing a lot. And if you ask anyone I went to high school with, everyone knew that I wanted to be an electrical engineer, and that was that. Like, when I applied for university, I only applied for those. The only health science degree that I applied for was optometry, and that's the only degree I got accepted in. But we keep it moving, we're keeping it flowing like the water. So yeah, so I applied for architecture, I applied for electrical engineering, I applied for chemical engineering. I don't know if it's my results or it was just God in the universe saying, hey, that's not where you're supposed to be going. I like to believe it's the latter, because my maths and physics was not so great, but I still have people that I got better maths and physics results who still got into engineering in like FET colleges. I didn't even get into an FET college, guys, like nothing. I couldn't even get into an FET college. I only got accepted at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, to study optometry, which is a 4-year degree. And I remember, like, Sahamba Said UT with my mom and dad, and it was like they had a conditional offer for chemical engineering, and I went there. They're like, no, we can't help you, unfortunately, you have to go there. I went to like probably 3-4 buildings, and none of them could help me. And then I was like, okay, fine, you know what, like, screw you guys, leave me alone. And then and then my dad was like, okay, so what do we do now? Do you want us to try walking into another university? Where else did you apply? And then I had gotten my offer probably a week or 2 before we went to DUT, but I didn't want to do optometry, guys. I didn't want to be in health science, so I didn't tell my parents. And then I remember, like, saying to my dad, I got an SMS today from UKZN saying I got an offer in optometry. Would you guys want to go there and try and see if I can get space? So they were like, cool, let's go. We drove to Westville campus, and I got there and everything was so smooth. I left that day with a student card as a registered student, and my mom was relieved, but I wasn't. I remember I spent about 2 to 3 weeks just crying, moping around, not wanting to speak to anyone, just tired. And I was like, I remember going home that day and I was like, dude, like speaking to God, I was like, dude, really, like, do we really need this? Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, you know how much I love engineering, you know how much I love electrical. Why can't you give me what I want? Like, why? And I was so angry for the longest time until I started in varsity. And I remember my first day was just okay, because it was just like basic revision from university, from high school. You'll do math, chem, physics and stuff, and then we started doing anatomy, and then I think physiology or something. But we had like a whole list, Jay, of just random stuff that were only like highlighting a little bit of optometry there and there. And then I remember second year when we started doing clinicals, I was like, hey, this is actually not bad. And then before I knew it, I was fully in love with optometry, and I was like, wow, I see you, God. Now I see why. Optometry has this thing of allowing you to have that sense of giving back to your community, because you're giving someone back their sight, you are giving them back their life. And like, we may take it lightly because, well, we do it every day for people, but people actually appreciate it. And when I started working and I saw that through my patients, I realized I understand now why God chose this career path for me, because it's so in line with the type of person that I am. It's so in line with my personality. I'm always for giving back to my community, for helping someone else, for going an extra mile for the next person. So it just fitted so perfectly into my personality and to who I am as a person. But yeah, so that's like the background story of my career and how it all kicked off. So I remember then I started working. I started working in 2019, and 2 months into work, like full-time work, I remember I phoned my mom and I was like, Mom, is this it? And she's like, what do you mean, is this it? I was like, there has to be more to my work life than just this. And she was like, you haven't really been working for even 6 months. Can you calm down? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I remember, like, she called my dad in and we had the whole conversation about building your reputation, building your career, building your legacy, building your name in the industry, and then only, you know, taking that next step. So they were like, get your experience, learn how your patients work, learn how your bosses work, learn how your colleagues work, learn about the environment that you're at, optimize that, make it better. And then when you feel like you're ready for the next step in your career, you'll know, then you can take that next step. And that happened last year. I have a friend, Unati, he's in IT, and basically I've been bothering him since I graduated, really. So last year, I remember, like, beginning of the year, I was like, dude, I think I want to study. And he was like, cool, what do you want to study? And I told him, and he was like, okay. And then he dumped like a whole lot of websites that I could apply through to be like a software developer, software engineer, whatever. So then I applied, and then I got into the program here, We Think Code. If you don't know what We Think Code is, it's an organization that is all about equipping African talent in the IT industry. So they train young people who have no experience in IT. Even if you've got like little experience in IT, they will train you. It's a peer-to-peer learning environment, so you don't really have formal lectures or anything like that, but they're an amazing organization. I loved them. So I got into them, but they lose at KZN. So that week that I was supposed to send out my signed contract, I had to send out a letter declining the offer, because I couldn't risk going into KZN knowing Uguti I may not survive financially because of the whole looting situation. So I had to make peace with that and let it go. And then I remember sitting down, I was like, okay, so that's it. And the answer was yes. I was like, okay, we move. I trust you've got better plans for me, for my life going forward. And about a month after that, I had this thing that kept telling me, okay, it's time to leave work now. It's time. And I'm one person who believes you must always listen to your instinct, because it's never wrong. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Honestly, guys, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I sent out a resignation letter to my bosses, and I was like, you know what, I think it's time for the next step in my career. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm taking a leap of faith, and I'm going to locum for about a year to figure it out. And then when I'm ready to take that step, I'll take it. And they were quite supportive. We did have glitches and all that, but it's normal. You're losing someone valuable in your company, and you know, now they have to find people to replace me, and but I stayed for 2 months so that I could train someone who would be my replacement. So I think that was kind of me to do that, and I thank the mentors that I have in my life, because that was suggested by one of my mentors, so I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, after that, okay, so I left work in December. My last day was the 31st of December, and we started our locum journey. Locuming, guys, is a lot. It's a lot, but over and above it being a lot, I feel like it's an amazing opportunity. If you can do it, do it. Just to try it out and see if it could work for you. If you can't, sorry. But so I started my locum journey, which is actually coming to an end at the end of this month, because I got a really good job offer in KZN, so I'm going back to my homeland. So yeah, but the 3 months have been amazing. Like, so far it's been great. I remember, so I'm an over planner, so I made sure before I leave work, I started locuming on my days off, like my Sundays, half a day Sundays, just to build relationships with the optometrists and the practice owners and stuff like that, so that should I decide to go into locum, I had, you know, a network of people to tap into, so that I can, you know, get work. And for that, I'm grateful to my father. He suggested, hey, try this to build your network, and then you can take your next step in your career. And honestly, guys, the one thing I can tell you, if you've got a great support structure from your family to your friends, anything is like possible. Like, there's almost no impossibilities, because whatever you do, you're always gonna have someone to back you up, and someone to say, hey, I got your back, so you can jump. If you fall, I'll catch you. So it's always just reassuring, and it's great. And mentorship is also very important, so have mentors. If you can get a mentor, have one. They just always bring out a different perspective in your life, which helps to grow you the way you're supposed to grow you towards a direction that is like your fullest potential, basically, in life. So I have a few notes here. I've got about 4 things. I think I'm going to add one. I've got about 5 things that I can give you as a take-home message if you decide to locum in your career. First is, treat your locums hustle or your freelance hustle as a business. So ensure that you pre-book on time. So what I used to do is, I would know 2 weeks before the beginning of the next month, okay, fine, I'm working there and there. These are the days I have booked in the month. Do I need to get more days, or these are fine? And I would always like structure my month before it starts. Okay, fine, this month I want to have days off there and there, because I'm doing this and this and that. And then the other months I can work. And then obviously I would then approach the franchisee owners or practice owners and say, hey, I'm available, these are my available dates, let me know if you need help on those days, and then you can take it from there. So that's the first thing. Treat it as a business. So ensure that you sort out the finances correctly, and you pre-book your time, yourself on time. The one thing I've noticed with locum is that they just decide to cancel like at last minute. Don't do that, because that tarnishes your reputation. If you want to make it in the locum industry, in the freelance industry, make sure you build a good, stable, like really good brand for yourself, so that people can trust you and trust your work. That's the first thing. Second, check if the employer pays tax. So with optometry, some practices will pay tax on your behalf, some won't. So the ones that do pay tax is great. The ones that don't, just make a note of that and calculate how much tax you need to pay. So if you're an optometrist, you need to pay 26% of your earnings from each company, basically, towards tax. your income tax. So ensure that if we would see the practice you're working for does not pay your taxes on your behalf, you minus that and you keep it aside so that when the tax season comes, you pay back your taxes to SARS, right? Number 3, we've got ask around and have a starting rate. So this is very important because I know when I was starting out, I was like, damn, what am I supposed to do? So ask a few people in your industry so that you know roughly how much you should charge, so that 1, you don't undercharge, and 2, you don't overcharge for the experience that you've got, which I don't think would be a problem. But you don't want to undercharge and then not really make money from taking that step in your career, right? So check that. And then also when you're doing that, ensure that you take tax into consideration so that you can actually know how much money you'll make after tax net, and so that you can cross-check and see if that amount of money is going to be enough to sustain you for the month. And then speaking of money, have a target for each month. Just like how a business has turnover at the end of the month, have a turnover. Okay, fine, each month I'm working towards that target, and if I don't make it, at least I must break even. So you must have a leeway. Okay, fine, for my target it must be between this and this, so that you know, if you don't get the highest target that you had put for yourself, at least you break even and you're able to take care of yourself and maintain your lifestyle. And then the last thing is have a goal attached to your hustle. So this kind of goes for any side hustle, really. It could be a freelancing as a full-time like I did, like I'm doing now, or it could be a side hustle. Have a goal for each side hustle so that you can see it through. Any action I feel with no vision and no goal attached to it, when you're tired, you're just tired and you don't have motivation to keep pushing. But if you have a goal that you're working towards, it makes it easier for you to make sure you follow it through. So that's what I did. I had a target for my low coming, and the reason I took the job that I took was because the salary package is more or less the same around what I was making when I was low coming, which means it will not deter my goal, my end goal, and my bigger vision. So I'm still in line with my goals, so which is great. So yeah, those are the 5 things. Treat it as a business, so ensure that you pre-book yourself. Have a target at the end of the month for each month so that you can break even and still make a profit from it. Have a goal attached to it so that you will not be demotivated and discouraged. Calculate tax and ensure that if the company doesn't pay tax on your behalf, you put money aside to ensure that you pay your tax. And then the last one, ask around and get a starting rate so that you don't undercharge and the numbers break even at the end of the month, and then you like, what's the point of low coming? Low coming makes you a lot more money compared to working full time. So if you can do it. And yeah, this is it. That's my low coming journey. That's why I quit working. I love it, guys. I got to travel. I got to spend time with my family. I got to spend time with myself. And going into the new work, when I went to the interview, it was easier for me to say, hey, this is my rate because this is what I want to get paid, and these are my hours. So if you can work around that, can we meet each other halfway? It was easier for me to negotiate because I knew exactly what I wanted and I knew exactly what was working for me. So I'm super excited to be starting at the new work. So that's it from me today. If you've got questions around low coming, around leaving your work, and drop them on the comment section down below. If I get about between 5 to 10 questions or more, I will do a follow-up video where I'll answer all of your questions. But if I don't, I'll just answer the questions on the comment section down below. So from me and the Mentorship Corner, it is goodbye for now. I love you guys absolutely a lot. Thank you for listening through till now. I really appreciate that. See you guys in the next video. Bye.